All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Maxime Bernier in the house, fighting it out for us, speaking up for us, defending us in both official languages. All sorts of abuse and smears and slander from the greasy MSM. And so we are thankful that he came out because we know that he sincerely believes in what Jordan Peterson stands for. And so we want to give some love to Maxime Bernier!
Thank you. Hello, freedom fighters! Freedom is what unites us today. As you know, without freedom, there's no human dignity, equality of rights, and economic prosperity. Freedom is the foundation of our civilization. So, if you want to turn a free country into an authoritarian one, how will you do it? What is the first freedom you will curtail? What is the first freedom? Speech. Yes, freedom of speech, freedom to speak your mind, freedom of expression. Because freedom of speech is the most basic of all freedoms. And that's why it is protected in our Charter of Rights and Freedom. It is a fundamental, not simply to maintain a free society, but to keep our dignity as human beings. To think, to speak, is what separates us from animals. Take away our ability to state our opinions, to choose our own words, and we are no longer human. We are subjects, not citizens.
Yeah.
Authoritarian politicians and non-elected bureaucrats working at regulatory bodies understand this all above. That is why they hate freedom of speech, but they love censorship. With freedom of speech, they cannot impose their radical leftist ideology. Freedom of expression is essential. With it, we can debate them, refute them, and expose them. When I was arrested, handcuffed, and put in jail for a non-crime after a political gathering for fighting for freedom of choice, the policeman asked me if I had something on me that could hurt him. I said, no, only my words. Only my philosophy, only what I believe in. And yes, with words, you can change the world. In fact, there has never been a change, an ideological revolution that did not begin with words, not with violence, but with words and ideas. Woo! That is why they are so obsessively focused on what we can say, on the words we can use, because they understand the power of words and ideas. Yes, freedom. We are here today in support of, yes, Jordan Peterson, but also in support of all these courageous Canadians who were silenced, sanctioned, or lost their job because of their words, because of their convictions. Regulated professionals like psychologists, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and lawyers. All these people fight for us. And we are here to defend openly, with passion and determination, our freedom to express our own opinions against these tyrants who censor us and impose on us their leftist orthodoxy. I can tell you today that together we will win that battle because we are on the right side. Bad guys are always the ones who censor. And we will win that battle for us, for our children, and for our country. Stay strong and free, and always fight for what you believe. Thank you. Thank you. Freedom, yes.
Hey everybody, we're live outside the College of Physicians. We just heard Max Bernier speak. Hold on, I gotta fix my microphone. I don't have Igor with me today, so it's gonna be a little clunky. Can you hold this for a second? Just hold it like that. Thank you so much. Clip that. And are you comfortable coming on camera?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, that's okay. That's totally normal. Let's do you right. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I am here with Margaret, and let's see your sign. And what brings you out here today?
I wanted to come out because I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. I think he's helped millions of people, and I believe in free speech, and I don't like to see him censored. I think what the board is doing is ridiculous. They should be stopped. They're not even mandated to be psychologists to be on this board. They're just government appointees. So I think they're just being the puppies of the government, and Jordan Peterson should be free to express himself on Twitter or YouTube or in public or anywhere he feels like it. And none of the complaints are from people that he's treated. They're all just from people griping about what he's posted on Twitter. So this attack is completely unwarranted and should be stopped. I'm going to send this sign that I just minted here at this protest to Clyde do something. And now that he has a P.O. box, he better be posting what that is, because I want to send this to him. And thanks a lot for all you do, Greg.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Clyde? You're sending Clyde this sign?
Yeah.
Amazing. And thank you for that very succinct summary, because you're right. It wasn't any of his patients who were complaining. It was just people presumably complaining on Twitter. And I think it's so silly. It's like, are you really, no offense to all the other psychologists who are part of the College of Psychologists, but are you really like comparing Jordan Peterson to like everybody else like in the College of Psychologists? He has a massive following. He sells out massive venues for speaking. It's very, they're clearly picking on him, don't you think?
I think they're absolutely picking on him because he tells it like it is, and they're afraid, because he's not afraid of speaking out against Trudeau and all the WEF and all the people who are trying to control our governments around the world. And I support Jordan Peterson.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, Greg.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Here we are out here. Here we are. This is on Eglinton West. We got some speeches going on here. How's it going, sir? Do you want to be on live?
Well, I just wanted to give an aside to you and just say good work and nice one for laying it out about being scared a few weeks ago. I don't,
Cool. Do you want to? We're on live stream right now. Do you want to hop on camera or?
I don't like being on camera. I'm on camera all the time because I show up here, but I'm so.
Can I show the Druthers?
Well, sure, you can show the Druthers.
This guy's got a Druthers.
Give me a quick interview. But not with the,
Ready for forced medical interventions?
this is the best magazine that Canada's had to offer for the last couple of years. The only ones that aren't paid for by Trudeau.
Yeah, man. I've seen good things about Druthers. I've seen some good things.
I'm just afraid that soon they're going to be not allowed to do their thing. They've already had money confiscated from them for a long period of time without any
Druthers has?
no reasonable explanation. They had funds that they were going to use to contract the truckers, to give everyone an individual contract and a reason to be in Ottawa. Had their money suspended the day of writing out checks to these guys. They haven't seen it since. They haven't had a decent explanation.
I never heard about that.
It's a lot of money too. I don't know, not to those guys, but to the Druthers people, it was enough to give all the truckers a chance to stay another couple of weeks or a month.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for your time, man. Anything that you want to say for people watching? Get your Druthers subscription.
Well, that's a start. Just start to consider the other side. We haven't been out here screaming at the top of our lungs from the beginning because we needed to? Yeah. We needed to be ostracized and laughed at? Who needs that? Nobody needs that.
Exactly.
But if you couldn't see through it from the beginning that what they were doing was wrong, then now's your time to wake up and say what they were doing was wrong.
Yep.
It's simple. It's wrong.
Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thanks for being here. You did great work.
I try my best. Thank you. All right. Hey, we're on live. Do you want to chat again?
All right.
Yeah. So I'm here with Tim, and he's the head of the PPC Youth Organization. Is that right?
Within the GTA region.
Amazing. And how do people get involved if they're young and they want to join your PPC organization?
They can email us as ppcylf@yahoo.com or reach out to us, send us a message through Twitter at ppc_ylf or on the Instagram, the PPC Young Leaders Forum.
Amazing. And you were saying that you used to be a progressive conservative or something, and then what happened?
Well, I just constantly feel some of them are not withholding the conservative values, and there's an intellectual corruption. So so eventually I just no longer wants to participate within the federal conservative or the provincial progressive conservative. So, and then when the PPC party was launched, I like a lot of the ideas, and then after the lockdown, I finally said, you know what, it's time to step up and no longer at the sideline.
Good for you. And like a speech was saying earlier, just say no. Just say no to the corrupt progressive conservative party, right?
No, because look at what Doug Ford had done during the lockdown.
Yeah.
Anytime when there's the situation where the economy should open, do not lock people down, he ended up caving.
Yeah.
And that's where we're saying this is that when push comes to shove, he caves.
Yep.
Not withholding conservative value, not withholding freedom.
Yeah.
And he also censored his caucus on the vax mandates, and also anyone who speaks out of line, and he will censor the MPPs.
Yeah. And something that kind of bothers me, I'm obviously happy to be at this protest and fighting for the right for Jordan Peterson to have his own right to speak. But, the College of Psychologists is cracking down on Jordan Peterson, who's a millionaire. there's been so many other doctors who are part of the College of Physicians in Ontario who have had their licenses taken away during this pandemic. And I wanted to ask you about Pierre Poilievre, because Pierre Poilievre was standing up for Jordan Peterson, but he has not once stood up for any other of the canceled doctors over the past 3 years.
This is exactly what I've said earlier, that when push comes to shove, they do not stand up for individuals who have their rights, who have their speech censored, who have their rights violated. And also there is the doctor's patient's confidentiality and also the integrity of that relationship. Poilievre had never truly stand up and speak out against that, never speak up on any individual who are injured due to the vaccine. So this is where the difference between the PPC and the Conservative Party is Conservative Party, when push comes to shove, do not stand up for freedom, do not stand up for conservative value, versus PPC have always stayed consistent on those matters.
Amazing. Tim, one more time, tag your Twitter or where we can follow you online, your Twitter and your Instagram.
The Twitter is PPC_YLF, or you can search PPC Young Leaders Forum, and same thing for Instagram, it's the PPC Young Leaders Forum.
Amazing. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. What a great guy. What a great guy getting the youth involved in the PPC. All right. Let's see what's going on over here.
In schools. Oh my gosh, so I was part of a team. Does everybody know Dr. Nilly? Dr. Nilly Catherine Merck,
They actually hung up some flags here. Which is actually really cool. It looks good. It's pretty good optics. It's not bad. This little like street is kind of occupied by us. You got the police over here, of course. Hey there. I'm on YouTube Live. Nope. Okay. Cool. What's going on? How's it going, sir? Good.
Sir, could I please?
Yeah.
Greg, right?
Yeah. I'm live on YouTube right now, just so you know.
I saw your interview with Jeremy McKenzie.
Yeah. We love Jeremy McKenzie.
Awesome.
Do you want to chat live on YouTube or?
I'm game.
Are you? Amazing. So I just ran into here. Let me just actually hop over here. You guys stay there. Yeah, I just want to get a good background. So I am here with. Do you want to be on YouTube?
Paul Krzeminecki, New Blue Party of Ontario.
Oh, the Blue Party.
New Blue Party.
New Blue. And yourself?
Mike, and also New Blue. I ran in Brampton with the New Blue under Jim and Belinda Carahalios.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Was this your first foray into politics in Canada?
Yes, pretty much. I mean, I was involved before. I wasn't really involved with any major party, you know what I mean? But I get involved because of what's happening in our country. So.
Does it remind you of anything?
Yes, it reminds me because my background is from Poland. We immigrated here. So in the communist Poland, you couldn't really say anything. So it's pretty much what is happening in our country, in Canada right now. Yeah. You know, with being forced to take the vaccine, it's just not.
It's insane.
It's against your freedom of choice.
Yeah. And speaking of which, I'm going to just zoom in. I'm going to zoom in on your button there.
Yes, sir.
That's a nice button.
Well, thank you. That's from Norm at Queen's Park in Toronto. I don't know, 6 months ago. You could get 3 buttons for $10, and I had $10. I wish I'd had 1,000. I would have bought all his buttons.
I would definitely like to get one of those. One of those buttons looks nice.
I like you, but I don't know.
So, was this your first foray into politics, running for New Blue?
On December the 1st of 2021, I was fired by Brampton Transit after 21 years of driving a City of Brampton bus for not following the mandates. That was December, okay? Wow. So I'm at home, and a former co-worker tells me to follow the New Blue Party because they're up and coming. I looked at the website, did my homework, And sometime in February, I said to my wife, if they don't have a candidate in our riding, I'm putting my name in. And a week later, I was the candidate. Yeah.
There you go. That's how it happens. That's how they get you, man.
And I think I may have commented on the awesome video that you did with Mr. Jeremy McKenzie just recently. I think I may have put in the comment section that you should invite Mr. Jim Karahalios onto your controlled opposition series, because that guy has been raked over the coals by the federal PCs and by the provincial PCs. And he's currently representing Benjamin Dichter, who was one of the Convoy organizers in the mess that has turned into.
He's currently representing him?
Yes, because Jim's a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And this is awesome. Let's look how Canadian this sign is. We got a paddle, put woke to sleep. On the other side, faith, family, country. Love it. Absolutely love it.
What do we have if we don't have that, right?
Yeah, and do you guys have social medias people should follow? If
you can go on the New Blue Party of Ontario website, and you can see everything about who we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, I like to ask people. There's a lot of people who are just not awake to what's going on, right? Or maybe they're indoctrinated, maybe they're brainwashed, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any advice or any stories of what actually works in terms of trying to reach these people or trying to wake them up? You're laughing already.
What does wake? What does work to wake people up? I see people out here today that I go out and protest with on a regular basis. And you've heard it, I'm sure, out here today. There are people honking, and the Great Awakening is happening. Okay, it is happening.
The honkening.
The honkening, yes, the great honkening. And yeah, specifically for every individual, what does it take? We don't actually know. If we see Mr. Peterson, he's got some theories on that.
Yeah.
I like that sign. Put the woke to sleep. I like that sign.
Yeah, I would say turn off the mainstream media, because all you're getting is not the correct information.
Yeah.
And they need to listen to alternative media, or they should just do their own research. I mean, we live in a democratic country, so you don't have to go by what the mainstream media says, right? Because look how many alternative doctors there are that are being censored, and they are not being put on mainstream media. Like when this vaccine came out, there's no debate. There was no public debate.
They called it a vaccine.
They called it a vaccine, exactly. Mike's right. Yeah. So it's sad to see that a lot of people are blindly, accepting what they are forced to take.
We got an adorable doggo here.
Yeah. So,
doggo interruption.
Other than that, I would just say that every single person should do their own research and find it, and the truth will be right there. Don't go by what someone's telling you. Even don't go by what I'm saying. Just do your own research. But other than that, it's sad to see what's happening in our country. How our freedom is being taken away from us.
And I want to. You said something important there about doctors being canceled or getting their licenses taken away. And although we're all here to protest what's happened to Jordan Peterson, as we all know, it wasn't just Jordan Peterson. Over the past 3 years, there's a whole bunch of doctors, Dr. Phillips, who got their licenses taken away for speaking up against what was happening.
Dr. Ponesi.
Yeah. And on that note, how do you feel about Pierre Poilievre? Yes, he's come out to speak up and stand up for Jordan Peterson, but he was pretty well silent for most of the pandemic and when we saw all these other doctors getting their licenses taken away. How does that make you feel?
He unfortunately, I think most of us are familiar with apparently Mr. Poilievre handed out donuts when the convoy was in Ottawa, and personally, ever since he took over as leader, all I'm seeing hand out in the House of Commons is donut holes. Okay? And I'm afraid that it's his own party, as I see Mr. Scheer sitting beside him, prepared to give him a boot in the shins if he says WEF in the House. He won't say it. And that's scary. That's very scary, because the only place things go on the record is in the Hansard.
Is in the what?
Hansard. That's the holy book in the House of Commons where everything gets copied that they say in the House of Commons, or how the individual MPs have voted. It's in the Hansard. If you look in the Hansard, you'll see that over his long political career, Mr. Poilievre, for example, voted in favor of the UN Sustainable Development that Mr. Harper brought in. Okay, now if that's not a globalist agenda, I don't know what is.
Yep.
So I'm waiting for him to be allowed by his MPs, by his caucus, to call out Mr. Trudeau's puppet masters. Okay? Because
What if they have the same puppet master?
that's my concern, because all we're getting is identity politics. And he's beating a dead puppet. Okay? He's beating a dead puppet.
You're good with words. You're very good with words, sir.
So I think time will tell, because Pierre Poilievre did come out publicly and said he doesn't want any WEF members in his cabinet. So we're just gonna have to keep him accountable to what he said. So I don't know where he's at right now. I'm not following everything that's going on in the government into detail, but so far he has been speaking out against all the bad things that are happening in our country.
Yep.
But then there's the question, like my friends said, that he did not call them out in the governments.
In the House. In the House.
So yeah, not quite. He's calling out a lot of things, but not quite everything. And in some cases, it's my friend Jeremy McKenzie on our show last week said, he's talking about the symptoms of the problem, but he's not really talking about the root of the problem here, which is the restrictions, which is this medical procedure being forced on everybody. And back to yourself, sir. I thought that TTC people were allowed to keep their job after a long holding out there. What happened in Brampton?
In Brampton, I don't know if I'm allowed to put a plug in for David Menzies from Rebel News, but I don't mind. Mr. Menzies has been tracking Sneaky Patrick Brown for some time, and Sneaky Patrick Brown is the mayor once again. And what happened in Brampton, I would say, was they knew that the legislation was coming down the pipe that would not allow them to do certain things. So they kept backing off with the mandates that they wanted to enforce. And what they ended up saying was City of Brampton employees did not have to disclose their vaccination status, but they had to agree to a weekly rapid antigen test, and they had to agree to electronically upload that test result. I had a previous privacy breach with the city, and I was not prepared to divulge my personal health information and consent to allowing them to attach whatever else to it. 15 days later, I was fired.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and as far as the TTC people are concerned, I recognize some people here who were either with Toronto Fire or with TTC, and they're all expected to go crawling back to work and admit or confess to having done the wrong thing, which means, like myself, I could not collect EI after paying into employment insurance. For 45 years, I was let go. I was told because of misconduct, I didn't have any money coming in. Nothing. I've appealed that. And the other people who were told by the city of Toronto, you can have your job back, well, same thing for them. They get a gag order, which is why we're here with Mr. Peterson today. This has got to stop. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, look at Mr. McKenzie. Mr. McKenzie retweeted some things and said some unacceptable things about Mr. Trudeau. And
You mean Jeremy?
I mean Jeremy.
Yeah.
He gets thrown in jail for 60 days, for Pete's sake. And the vice president of Diagolon is a goat. Come on! Come on! Jeremy's a hero. Keep it up, buddy.
Hey, thanks so much for your time, guys. Did you want to add anything?
I just wanted to say exactly what my friend Mike said. He lost his job because of the vaccine. That's why I signed up for New Blue and got involved, because this is the only party provincially that's one of the major opposition, I would say, that is standing for people's rights. So this is I think that there should be a choice. If you want to take it, you take it. If you don't want to take it, don't force it on anybody. And I also strongly think that we should have a public debate on this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of unsudden deaths, and we don't know why these
We don't know why.
are dropping dead.
Yeah.
And they are saying, oh, well, it's heart failure, blood clot, but where is it all of a sudden coming? We didn't have this sort of issue prior to the vaccination came out, or whatever.
We should have a public debate. Yo, thanks a lot for your time, guys. What are those? No, I'm good, thanks. Does my breath smell?
No.
Okay. Let's get a close up one more time on that button. Thanks again, guys.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the Controlled Opposition series.
Yep.
Thanks.
Controlled Opposition, episode 2 tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Cheers. It's a bunch of trumped up political charges, and he's going to plead innocent, I'm pretty sure, or not guilty rather, to like every single one. So
That he had to pay $35,000.
he's had to pay a lot of money. Jeremy's had to pay a lot of money. It needs a whole own stream to go over all that.
Recently, we had the police officer being killed. The OPP officer, and apparently the person that did that killed him, is on bail. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Oh man, if you compare Jeremy's cases to violent cases,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what kind of democracy is this? Where's the justice system here? Like, how is the other person on bail and he killed a police officer while Jeremy McKenzie tweeted something and went into jail? It's all political.
Well said. Well said.
Anyway.
Thanks again, man.
Yeah, thanks again.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Over here is a guy named Adam.
Yeah.
Who goes, this guy, his full-time job, and he puts in overtime, is protesting all around here. If you want a good interview, you ask Adam. He's another Polish guy.
Nice. Okay. How's it going? I see you have Not Media on your. I'm live streaming. Did you want to chat or?
No.
Okay. I do want to look at your camera there. Not Media. Oh wow.
You know what that is?
That's like an old school camera.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not media.
Hi. I'm just live streaming right now. How's it going? You can do a photo, but you have to be on the live stream. That's how it goes. Okay.
That's fine.
I am here with
Sherry. Sherry from Alliston.
and
Anne Marie. We're from Barrie in Ontario. We're former healthcare workers.
oh, what happened?
I was already gone from the hospital by the time this situation came along.
Oh, okay.
I stood up for informed consent and they told me I don't have any rights. And I lost my 40-year nursing career. So
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, but you know what? I've met so many incredible people and I don't regret a thing, because if I hadn't stood up, who am I? What's the point? So I feel so grateful. And yeah, so here we are.
That's so true. That because someone was saying like, oh, there are so many consequences for standing up, and it's like, yeah, but you're living, right? You're living. You have a purpose.
We also have children, and that's one of the main things that we're standing up for. Our children's future.
Absolutely. And I love to see that. And it's kind of almost sad when there's women who are protesting, and it's like, where are all the men? Sometimes you gotta wonder.
Actually, I was surprised there were so many men here today. This is great. This is incredible compared to a lot of the rallies and that I've been to, with the exception of Ottawa.
Yes. There's a lot of testosterone around there. So obviously you're out here to help support Peterson.
Free speech.
I support Dr. Peterson. Oh, see that one? Speech must be untrammeled so dialogue can take place.
I love that word. Untrammeled is freedom. If we don't have that, we have nothing. And he said we're going to live in tyranny and slavery without freedom of speech.
And were you both nurses? Or?
I'm a nurse. I was in pharmacy. Yeah, so I have a little bit of background on research and how trials and that go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in the control group, by the way, of this experiment. Yes.
And so pharmacy, does that mean like running a pharmacy, like Shoppers or something?
It's a hospital pharmacy. I won't mention it, but a very prominent hospital in downtown Toronto.
Okay. And although we're here to stand up for Jordan Peterson, who's being persecuted by the College of Psychologists, something that is not irritating, but kind of gets my OCD going a bit as well. You know, a lot of other doctors and nurses have already been canceled for their opinions. And, you know, there was no conservative MP really standing up for you guys at the time. And how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's terrible. Everybody has a right for their own opinion without discrimination or penalty. That's the whole thing. I mean, one of the main things that I was standing up for right in the beginning is the freedom of choice without penalty. And it's just been horrible how our country's been run and the division, and it continues.
It's really simple, isn't it?
Simple. Freedom of choice. Freedom of choice without penalty.
And if there's risk, there must be choice, and that's what I stood on. And we weren't allowed to ask questions. And they came up with this Directive 6 in healthcare. It's not even a law, but that's how they got rid of us. They made up this directive and said, you have to follow the policy. And I said, well, I wasn't hired based on taking an experimental drug. So how can you let us go? And no one stood up. It could have stopped in a second if healthcare workers initially had stood up and said, no, you can't get rid of my colleague. It's informed consent. I had informed consent and I took the jab. I didn't, they say. And I said, well, I had informed consent and I didn't. So we don't have informed consent in Ontario or Canada. We've lost it. Many doctors will say that. We don't have informed consent anymore. And that's part of freedom of speech. Freedom of our freedoms,
And I think it is interesting how that happens because, you know, if you are a nurse or a doctor, you probably get even more inundated with the indoctrination of like, oh, like here's the messaging, here's the emails.
You wouldn't believe the bullying. I actually reported my workplace to the labor board for the bullying emails that I got about taking this jab. And safe and effective, if I didn't hear that 7 million times, and I said, where's the proof?
Where's the science?
Where's the science? I worked 100% from home as a nurse manager, 100% from home with my Chihuahua, and I was a danger to somebody. I don't know what. They couldn't tell me how I was a risk. Right? Oh yeah, 100% from home. My staff as well. And I was a risk. I called the health unit. I said, how am I a risk? They couldn't tell me. And they said, well, where's everyone getting this from, that unvaccinated people were a risk to society? From the news. That's what the health unit told me that. Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. So here we are, standing for freedom again, and it's a great day.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a great day. And if I was working, I couldn't be here.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Not a bad turnout for a Wednesday.
Right?
So do we get a picture there?
Yeah, yes, of course,
Great,
of course.
Great, Craig.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I got
You're
deleted on
awesome.
TikTok. I have a new one though.
And I always missed you.
Get offline.
No, we're still.
Anytime I saw you through Ottawa, or I chased you in Nathan Phillips Square, and that you were always too swift. So when I saw you, it's like, I gotta come over and say hi.
Thank you for your time. Thanks
He
again.
is great.
Thanks.
On the other side, that lady
Yeah.
with the sign,
Yeah.
Anna, she was in Ottawa on. Anna was in Ottawa on.
Does she have the hat?
With the hat and censorship, a hallmark of despots. That lady was there with the Convoy a year ago. On Canada Day, she was there, and she had a sign that said, "Police, hold your horses." And the police wouldn't come near her on Canada Day. And that's why I think you should go and ask Anna about her hold your horses sign.
Yeah. There's her over there with censorship is a hallmark of despots. She's on the other side of the road. I don't know if you guys can see it. I think we might go over there in a second.
I'll call her.
Yeah, if she comes over here, let me know. Oh.
The freedom, is he here?
All right, guys, we're going to end
Where
the
is he?
stream here. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you
Okay,
like,
all right,
share, and
I won't-
subscribe.
I won't
We're going to
expose
talk
him.
to you soon. We got Desi Ranks
Anyway,
over there.
you guys need more music?
We'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Thanks for watching.
What song? Let's name the song and I'll do it for you. Let's name it out.